Say you ready. Whole squad ready. Is you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready?
What's up, folks, and welcome to Season 5 of Viper Island. In today's episode, we're going to catch you up to date on everything important happening in the world of G.I. Joe Classified, the hot takes, the latest news and insight, and how the G.I. Joe fanbase feels. And first up, how is the HasLab Snowcat campaign doing? After 3 weeks, it's pacing at around half the numbers the Hiss Tank, Dragonfly, and Rattler had at the same time. The Snowcat's momentum is just not there. Even with the final day surge, which will likely be softer this time, the campaign doesn't currently project to unlock the bivouac. If tiers stay locked, cancellations are coming. Maybe a few hundred, maybe more. And unless things change, that could hinder the benefits of any late surge. So why are fans hesitant this time around? The G.I. Joe fanbase has been very vocal. Some feel the price is too high for what's included. For others, display space is limited, and the Snowcat is just not a must-have for some collectors. For others, the tiers are too safe. There are no exciting new characters in the tiers, and there are no winter-specific figure tiers to match the vehicle. Unless Hasbro shakes things up with a surprise announcement or a full-on course correction, the Snowcat campaign looks headed towards an underwhelming finish. And that's a shame, because in terms of design, this might be the best vehicle they've ever attempted in the G.I. Joe Classified series. Let's dive in and get to the bottom of this. Powerslave Edit said, "The Snowcat shouldn't have been this year's HasLab." Pale Moon 77 said, "It should have been a Sky Striker or a tank before this Snowcat offering." And Ryan Vieira 3975 said, "They should have come out with a tank like the Mobat or Mauler to pair with the Hiss." Dex, what's your reaction here? Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree completely. I think they should have kept the Snowcat. Snowcat should have been one of the first ones. It should have been Hiss Tank, Snowcat. The Snowcat's the best one, yeah. It's better than the Hiss Tank, better than all of them. No debate about it. You see how big it is? All the lights it's got like 7 sets of lights in just the front, and then the back has all this stuff. Holds like 12 guys, has all this cool stuff. It's even got a kitchen inside of it. It's so cool. You can pull the steering wheel in and out, like move it around.
That's true.
There's like light up stuff in the inside. It comes with a bunch of cool stuff. It comes with a bivouac too, which is really good, and it's like cloth too. So
well, it doesn't yet. That hasn't been unlocked, and may never get unlocked.
It should get unlocked. You're telling me someone's buying the Dragonfly, but not the Snowcat? The
$275 for the Dragonfly, and it's $325 US for the Snowcat.
This thing should get funded. It's the best HasLab yet.
There are reasons why. It's not all about this Snowcat.
I think the Snowcat has some of the best tiers out of all of them. On this one, you get, what is it for the tiers? There's a bivouac. The only thing that sucks there is just Lady J and Flint. Just switch them with anyone else, and it's perfectly fine.
So I thought you just said that the tiers are the best out of all of them.
They are.
You think that Lady J and Flint?
I don't want more figures when I'm buying a set like that. If you're buying a set, put the army builders on the side. Because if I wanted to stack them up with like cool guys like that, you shouldn't have to spend $350 to stack them. They should be by themselves. You want things like the bivouac, like the cooking supplies and stuff like that. And
I don't want the cooking supplies.
You want one-time figures that, well, I want it. Who doesn't want that? I think it has the best tiers out there. And anyone that hates on it is just being a hater for the sake of it.
Wow.
It is a perfectly good HasLab. One time Hasbro's ever done something right, first time ever, and they've had like 400 figures now in this whole line. Not even just G.I. Joe. Out of all figures, they have like 10 billion figures. First time they did something right, and everyone's like, oh, this sucks.
Well, you know what? You're entitled to your opinions, and I'm actually surprised that you're this positive about the Snowcat. Snowcat's amazing, by the way. Vehicle, amazing. They should have had two different tiers, though.
The amount of comments and people saying, oh, we should have the Snowcat for years. And everyone's like, oh, Snowcat would be amazing for a HasLab. They give us the Snowcat, better than anyone could ever expect. It's got all these cool things on it, lights and everything that look awesome. It's like 2 feet long. It's like 2 full Subway subs on it. It's huge. It looks thick too. Doesn't look cheap quality. And then everyone's like, "Oh, this sucks."
I would just prefer to have different characters.
No, because
that's my opinion. And we're backing
figures,
this, by the way.
Yeah, you should be putting different figures in like the mainline thing, especially if they're troop builders. You don't want troop builders in the
to make like a Hisfire team.
If you're buying multiple Snowcats and stuff like that, you can do what you want. But other people, most people would not be doing that. And if you want a guy that's like the drivers or something, the cool like army builders, you shouldn't have to have a $350 paywall. Well, that's why you want things like the bivouac and then a Flint. So then it's not just. Because in Flint...
You're asking for Flint. You hate on Flint for years,
yeah, they finally made a good one, though. But
yeah, it is a good one.
Yeah, and it's got all this cool stuff with it.
If you're enjoying this, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. What about this? What if they took Lady Jane Flint, made it a 2-pack? So you're still getting them, right? You're still getting them. Hold on.
No
Hold
one
on.
wants army builders with the Snowcat, though.
Not army builders. Replace Lady J with Whiteout, the other driver of this Snowcat, so you get the entire Snowcat experience in one purchase. Okay? Keep the bivouac. It's pretty decent. I don't care about the cooking stuff, but to each their own. Some people out there will really enjoy it. Great. And then the third tier, I would make another character. Now, there's so many different ones. A lot of people want Iceberg. It's not going to be locked away behind a HasLab. They want Blizzard. Same thing. Not going to be locked away behind a HasLab. But you could take alternate variants. Or you could make a figure that Hasbro's likely to never make that would be a good fit, like Iceberg version 2, or the Brazilian variant of Iceberg version 2, although he was a Cobra character. There's different colors, different variants.
Good figures they got right now. Actually, good tiers for once.
It's not exciting anyone. So this, like, okay, so every other HasLab for G.I.JOE Classified.
Just switch it out with anyone.
His tank funded in like 12 hours. The Dragonfly funded in 26 hours. The Rattler funded in like 24 hours. And then this one, we're going on week after week after week, and it's still not fully funded for just the base model. What they should have done is followed what we suggested before. Two options. You can either get the base offering, which is the vehicle and whatever it comes with, or if you want the deluxe package with all the extra tiers like Lady J, Bivouac, Flint, then you can buy that separately. So you got two options.
I thought Ray just put them on a side pack, all the extra things.
That's what I'm saying. The problem is a lot of people don't want those extra tiers, or they don't like those tiers. This campaign might not even unlock Lady J, the Bivouac, or Flint. And if that's the case, we're going to see a purge of backers with people canceling their orders because $325 for just the Snowcat and Frostbite, it's too much.
Yeah, but tell me what else we should have for a vehicle.
Well, market research indicates that the fans wanted a tank. And the Mobat...
Tanks hold one person.
I agree.
What are you going to do with one person?
I'm not defending this. I'm just saying, this is what most of the G.I. Joe community wanted.
Well,
the Mobat has original 13 ties, and it was heavily featured during G.I. Joe's peak in popularity, especially during the early years of A Real American Hero. And we polled G.I. Joe fans around the world, and the results are very consistent with past years when we asked the same exact thing. Fans wanted a G.I. Joe tank. We asked people, what should be this year's G.I. Joe HasLab? Specifically, what are you willing to spend $300 to $350 US on? And overwhelmingly, 41% of people answered a tank, either the Mobat or Mauler. Second place was a winter vehicle like a Snowcat or Avalanche. In third was a helicopter like the Tomahawk. And 10% said other, just anything else. So most people did want a tank. I agree. There are limitations to what a tank can do.
I bet you
how many people you can put inside the tank. So both you and I are in agreement. We wanted the Snowcat.
Horrible. Snowcat's the best option. They should have done it directly after the His Tank. His Tank, Snowcat. That's what they should have done.
Well, last year we did do an episode all about the HasLab and what we thought that the 2025 HasLab might be. We did our predictions. We said, okay, it looks like a tank. However, what we want is a Snowcat and Frostbite. And so you and I, we got what we wanted, but a lot of fans out there didn't. So that's why we're hearing this from fans. In 2024, fans wanted the Rattler, followed by the G.I. Joe Whale Hovercraft.
That's a good idea.
That's
a really good idea. I'll just put some giant boat on my shelf that's just gonna
wouldn't
sit
even fit
there.
on the shelf.
No, it wouldn't. And
have to
where
get
are you
an
gonna put
ottoman.
it? You have to pretty much buy a pool for your backyard to use it, and it actually looks good. Whale's the worst idea ever. If they ever do a water vehicle for a HasLab, they shouldn't even have 1,000 backers, let alone 500.
That might be next.
That should,
hydrofoil.
If you're telling me that the Snowcat won't back, but a boat will, that's.
I don't know if it will. We'll see. We'll see.
Like, we've made our points about the water characters, how you can't put them on a shelf. What are you going to do with a big boat? You would need a whole pool to go with it. That's what Hasbro probably wants. They'll have one HasLab where it's the killer whale. Next one is a mini pool for it.
Well, if we start seeing Hasbro open some pool brick and mortar stores, I guess we'll know that they're onto your idea there, Dex. Don't start giving them bad ideas. Bald Steve Games 9080 said, Arctic vehicles and characters can't be displayed in non-Arctic environments. And that's another thing that some collectors, you may not agree, Dex.
That's the exact same thing with everything, though.
I mean, there is some truth to this.
That goes with everything, though.
I think there's some truth to this. And I think what this highlights is, whether anyone agrees with this or not, it does highlight why some people are holding off on backing the Snowcat. There are some limitations. Some people won't get it because they don't live in winter environments. I don't think you have to live in a winter environment in order to get a Snowcat. The Snowcat's wicked.
The Snowcat's one of the best vehicles in all of G.I. Joe. No one's changing my mind.
I agree.
There's not a single vehicle that is better than it.
I'm glad they went with the Snowcat. This is one of the reasons why. So, I mean, Bald Steve Games 9080, thanks for your comment here. Definitely one of the hot takes that's out there, and you're highlighting why a lot of people are holding off on the Snowcat.
Like, I understand that comment, but it's like, still, you can still have a devoted shelf to just all snow things.
If you're enjoying this, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. Nico Debonia said, it's too big and the unlocks are asinine. Should have made it smaller, cut the price, and have figures, not garbage like hot dogs and a freaking tent.
I agree, it should have been cheaper. I like the figures. And the hot dogs are awesome.
I'm so shocked that you're that into the cooking supplies.
You can put that with any action figure line, though. You could have Spider-Man holding one of those little hot dog like stick things over the fire.
Yeah.
You could have like the Fortnite guys too. You could have even the Star Wars guys. You could have stormtroopers around there because it works with everything.
Yeah, definitely. It is a big vehicle, right?
Is it too big?
I don't.
That's kind of what you want for a HasLab. When you're paying $300, you better hope it's big.
Yeah, it's big.
You don't want it to be able to fit in your hand if it's a HasLab. $300.
Now, the reason why some people say it's too big is because the original Snowcat from the 80s was actually downscaled. So if you look at the cartoon, and we've covered this in the past, the toy that came out in the 80s was actually too small for what it should have been. It should have been bigger, but it wasn't. So now everyone got used to that. Now they're thinking, oh, well, that looks like retail sized. And honestly, you can't have a good quality Snowcat that's retail sized without losing a lot of its oomph. So in terms of should have made it smaller, that's where that comment comes from. Totally understandable. Cut the price. I mean, around the $300 mark is what we get for HasLabs. Have figures, not garbage like hot dogs in a freaking tent. Totally sort of see where you're coming from there. Instead of a bivouac, another character. That's what a lot of collectors want, is more figures. I'm kind of good on this because instead of getting patches, we got a play set.
Oh, the patches are the stupidest thing ever. Who wants a patch? Where are you going to put that on?
So this play set looks good. Not everyone wants it. Not everyone's going to use it. Either way, I think we're still going in a good direction here. We reached out again to G.I. Joe fans from around the world, asked them, what tiers do you think the Snowcat should have offered? 24% said they're happy with what we got. Lady J, the Bivouac Battle Station, and Flint. 58% said they want alternates of Iceberg, Blizzard, or someone new.
Well, that shouldn't happen.
Someone else.
That shouldn't happen, though, because then you got a $350 paywall behind it. For guys like that, Lady J and Flint, though, you can at least buy the regular versions of them. But
yes.
The other guys like Iceberg and Blizzard, it doesn't even matter if you have different versions of them. Still,
I would underline someone new in that. Just
either make someone new, or actually the best thing would be is make a snowmobile. Just add in a snowmobile instead of all the figures.
Again, people don't want that locked away. Not everyone can afford a HasLab, and not everyone wants the Snowcat, but they do want the Polar Battle Bear.
It's Hasbro. The one thing that I would want a repaint of is vehicles. Do a repaint of a snowmobile. You know how cool that'd be?
Yeah, and you can have different colors, by the way.
And then interchange.
Totally fine.
Like, you can have the skis go to treads, so you can have an ATV too.
Oh, yeah. That'd be wicked. 13% said a small winter vehicle and add-ons, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And 4% said something else. What we can take away from this, people wanted different figures. They didn't like Lady J and Flint for the most part. I haven't heard too much complaining about the bivouac, but
there shouldn't be.
Overall, this is where this is coming from. We're getting a sense of how the community feels and what they want.
You gotta pick and choose sometimes. Like, when I complain about things, it's for a reason. They can't put the blame on other people.
You know what, though? The Snowcat has taken weeks. It's not funded, and even then, if we get close to the deadline and we still haven't unlocked some of these tiers, or even if we just unlocked Lady J, and then people realize, so I'm spending $325 on the Snowcat, Frostbite, and Lady J, and all the cooking supplies, or most of them, are stuck with Flint, and you don't even have the campfire or the campsite with the bivouac. What's the point of that kitchenette? What's the point of any of the cooking stuff? You'll have Lady J with a fishing pole, but no fish, because the fish come with the bivouac. Well, if you want Lady J to have her fish, you'll have to fund the second tier, the bivouac, so you can get the fish. If this only funds with Lady J, the Snowcat, and Frostbite, you can have a kitchenette with no food, basically. You're going to have Lady J with a fishing pole but no fish. It's going to make Hasbro look ridiculously stupid. put things together,
like a
stop playing
Build-A-Figure.
games. If people want the bivouac, let the bivouac stand on its own merits. If people want Flint, let that stand on his own merits. You don't need to break these things up. It's going to look really ridiculous, by the way, with the packaging. When you take Lady J out and she's got a fishing pole but no fish, and then all of a sudden Flint's package is going to have all, like, he's going to be surrounded by hot dogs and frying pan and eggs, and like, what are we doing here? Put it all together, make it make sense, and then the tiers don't annoy people. Artfire4635 said, based on comments, it may be a good idea to announce more winter-themed characters during San Diego Comic-Con before the Snowcat HasLab closes.
Yeah, they should do that.
What a great idea, right?
If they don't fund this, knowing Hasbro, the chances of them making another Snowcat and trying to like refund it with different things, they're never gonna have another Snowcat if this doesn't fund.
If what they say is true, if it doesn't get funded, they're not gonna make it.
They should just do one of the tiers with just a bunch of weapons, like the first ever Snake Eyes, like the deluxe edition of Snake Eyes. They should just do that where one of the tiers is just a bunch of guns, a bunch of brand new weapons and stuff. A weapon rack too with it.
While you mention that, the bivouac comes with, I wouldn't call it a weapon rack, but like a storage rack for shovels and all camp supplies. If you look at those aren't winter supplies. Anyone who lives in a winter environment knows you can't use a shovel in the winter.
No,
You're digging into frozen ground, you're not getting very far. There are no kinds of winter tools that should be there for a winter campsite. But I think we agree with Artfire here that they do need to start introducing or at least announcing, like, hey guys, you need to back the Snowcat because guess what? You're going to want to have it next year when Iceberg is coming out and Blizzard's coming out, and we're going to have Arctic Troopers. Some of you guys like the His Fire Team, the 3-pack. We're going to do an Arctic Trooper 3-pack. Stuff like that. If they start announcing that now, then you'll start to see some momentum for the Snowcat campaign. But right now, it's basically dead. And that's on Hasbro. A Cobra Viper 3871 said the Snowcat should have had a basic pledge level and an advanced level with the tiers to keep our costs down if we wanted. $225 to $250 would be much better in this economy. And we already talked about this point. Have different pledge levels. The basic level could easily just be the Snowcat and Frostbite. They would sell like hotcakes. You wouldn't see this slowness with the campaign. It's the tiers that are slowing this thing down and causing people to not want to back it. What do you think, Dex?
Yeah, I agree with that. They should do it a lot cheaper.
And then have different options, like a basic level or a deluxe?
They have that for like, sort of what they have for video games. How you can get different versions of it.
Good point. Yeah, you get like a deluxe version or an ultimate edition.
Or just the base edition.
Yeah.
That just comes with the game and nothing else.
And that definitely does sell. Tell me that we're wrong here. And there you have it. You've made it to the end of this episode, and we really appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. And we would love it even more if you take just 1 second of your time. Make sure that down below you are subscribed to the channel. We ask that you do, because that guarantees that we definitely get to see you back here again next time. Thanks for tuning into Viper Island, your one-stop shop for all things G.I. Joe. When there's relevant news, we'll be here to discuss all of it, together with you. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, have a great day, and yo Joe!